It's the cold. It's the cold that's been part of the system, this ongoing weather pattern change that's been generating so much hype on social media. Polar vortex, this, blah, blah, blah. It's weather. It's going to cool off. As far as this week, temperatures in the teens or colder highlighted on the map, mostly central and northern plains for the week ahead. And coming through with this cold will be chances for rain and snow. Let's walk through those timelines now.
So here we have a look at kind of what the forecast of the radar imagery is going to be over the next several days. So let's just walk through this, time step it for you. This is 5 p.m. Mountain Time. You can keep an eye on that clock on the top left. Watch as we have this relatively impressive area of weather out here over the Great Lakes. It's going to be moving toward the mid-Atlantic. But as we go forward in time here, let's go 8 p.m. Now we're at 11, and you'll see that activity moves toward New York and Philly. Elsewhere, we do have some spotty showers, kind of developing rain showers and snow from the southwest. And then we have snow off into the northern plains. Watch as we get into early Tuesday morning. This is 8 a.m. Mountain, 11, now 2 p.m. Mountain. And watch as we've developed these thunderstorms from Kansas City to Wichita on down to the south near El Paso, a line of storms here. As we go forward in time, that storm center gets heavier. Risks of severe weather will spread from Missouri down into Oklahoma. Line of thunderstorms there with heavy rainfall. Up to the north near the upper Midwest, that's going to be in the form of snowfall, a rain-snow mix for the Pacific Northwest. As we get into Wednesday morning, midday, and afternoon, from Memphis to Nashville, still tracking thunder showers with heavy rainfall. By 5 o'clock, another band of thunderstorms begins to pop up over Oklahoma, spreading toward Missouri. This is 11 p.m. on Wednesday, Mountain Time. Storms focusing on Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Joplin, Missouri, on up towards St. Louis, and stretching out toward Memphis and Nashville. Into the morning hours, those thunderstorms continue. Quite a cluster of rain and thunder there across Kansas, the Osage country, out toward Nashville, on up to the north, over the northern plains. That's going to be the form of snowfall. Pacific Northwest, chances for showers, including rain and snow. Thursday morning at 11 a.m., more heavy rainfall, kind of focused on the central and southern plains with chances for thunderstorms, possibly severe, as we hit 2 p.m. on Thursday, again Mountain Time, right around Missouri, focal point of heavy rain yet again. As we went through that animation, there was a lot of shower activity, and you saw it primarily focused on Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri, as well as parts of Kansas, mostly the foothills and east. Let's fly into that area. This is total PF, or total precipitation on the way, and this is going to be in the form of rainfall for this area. And this is for the next 3 days through the midweek, and then I'll show you an image for the next week in total here in just a moment. But areas from Oklahoma City to Fort Smith, Conway, out toward Memphis, we're going to be looking at some areas of rainfall here of at least 1.75 inches, approaching 2 to 2.5 inches. And as you get closer here, from Norman to Stillwater, that's kind of the backside of this rain. And then you move off to the east, kind of focused right along the highway system here out toward Memphis. So these areas are going to have the deepest rainfall totals coming their way. Off into Missouri and Kansas, from anywhere from Lawrence to Kansas City, stretching out to just about Columbia, Jefferson City down to the south. We'll have some totals here of approaching and climbing more than 1 inch in total. And again, this is total precipitation. That's going to be in the form of rain here. Total precip up to the north into Dakotas. I'll show you the snowfall estimates here in just a moment, but you're going to be picking up total rainfall, or total water, I should say, of 0.5 to 1 inch or so. And I'll have those snowfall totals for you in a moment. Out along the west coast, as we come in here, those coastal areas still inundated with heavy rainfall, 1 to 2 to 3 inches possible over the next 3 days. And it goes all the way down to the south into California. And of course, the Sierras stretching from Mount Shasta on down to the south will be in the form of snow, and I'll have that starting now.
Snow on the broad view focuses on the west, northern plains, and hit and miss areas across the northern tier from the upper Midwest to the New England states.
I showed you the wide view of the snowfall. Let's fly in here to California. And as we do so, there's going to be areas from Mount Shasta that will approach 14 to 20 inches. Much of the, kind of Lake Tahoe region, some of the central and northern Sierras, they're going to be pushing more than 2 feet of new snowfall. And you see some snow stretching out toward Carson City and Reno. As we go up the coastline here, around Medford, on up towards Roseburg, that's when the snowfall tapers off. Just some lingering snowfall here along the Cascades, just to the east of Portland and east of Seattle. Let's broaden the view and go over here to the plains. The Rockies, not a lot of snowfall on the way over the next 3 days, but you can see kind of that animation. I showed you the radar estimated animation where we walk through all those time steps. The showers that were over the northern plains, that's mostly in the form of snowfall, and that's what we're seeing here. So areas of the plains of Montana, Wyoming, these areas are going to have anywhere from 2 to 5 to 4 to 8 inches. And then you get into parts of South Dakota here. So Rapid City has a couple of these deeper bullseyes. That's going to be more than 10 inches in some cases. And that stretches on up into isolated areas up toward Bismarck. By and large, though, the two Dakotas here, that's going to be within a range of mostly 4 to 8 inches or so. As you get toward Aberdeen and Jamestown, we start to taper off that snowfall as we head into Minnesota. That's not to say additional snow is not on the way, but this animation, or this map, I should say, only goes out the next 3 days. And I'll update the snowfall forecast as we get within that time range.
Over the coming weeks, or coming days, through the next couple of weeks, colder temperatures will spread out from the northern plains, move out toward the east, and that's going to cool things down relative to normal. Is it Earth ending? Absolutely not. For this week, as we talked about, anybody in the teens or colder, it's highlighted on this map here. And then next week, we'll spread those hazards out over the east. So let's do that now. Let's take a look at the hazards along the longer term, just a heads up here on what is coming down the pipe, if you will. So impactful cold on the way from the 11th to the 15th. Now we've grabbed that cold, grabbed it from the northern plains, sent it down to the south and to the south and east. So again, through mid-March, colder than normal temperatures will be moving across the south. That may be a problem for wheat that has emerged without protective snow cover. Could be some issues there. Anybody calving, any of those new growth, your new flowers, anything new fruit products may be susceptible to this cold coming through. As far as snowfall on the way, the impacts here for the 13th to 17th focuses on Arizona. 13th to 17th also for the Sierras into parts of the Cascades. That's in terms of snow in about 2 weeks. Impactful areas of rain, 13th to the 17th, focus on the west and the southwest and an area here along the Gulf Coast states. Again, the 14th to the 17th. There you have it, today's daily shower without the hype, just the data. It's weather, it happens. Giving you the headlines so you know what to prepare for. I'm Matt Makens. That's the data as I see it. Blessings to you and yours.